Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to get in here. We have a very, very special guest tonight. Now, I didn't talk about this guest because I did not want to tip off any other media outlets that I had a special guest that will be on my show tonight. In anticipation of this guest, I want to let people know that this guest has not been paid to be on this interview. She's not been paid. She has a very interesting story to tell, and I want to give her opportunity to tell a story. But first, before I bring her up, I just want to give you a little background. This young lady has appeared in some of the biggest publications in the world, from Vogue to, her tear sheets is amazing. She's very beautiful, to say the least. She's worked with someone that I photographed early on in my career. Her name is Tyra Banks. Monique Statina has walked many runways in New York, all over the world for the most part. And I want her to tell a story. And when I heard her story, I was blown away. I was blown away because I've heard so many stories from different women who have stated they knew R. Kelly. Before I bring her on, I want to get a 1 in the chat so you can tell me if you can hear me. So drop that 1 in the chat right now. I want to make sure everyone can hear this interview. This is a breaking news exclusive. So once I get those 1s in the chat, we're going to bring her up already. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Before, I was going to bring in her reels, but I said no, because she's already known. And when I do all the visuals, I give people the heads up about who she is. I saved her. I didn't want anyone to know that I scored this huge interview. I don't tip my competitors on how I move. I'm at a secret location, and so is she. This young lady has a story to tell, and this is a breaking news exclusive. Without any further ado, I want you to give this guest a warm welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Monique Statima.
Hi.
What's going on? How are you?
Monique Statina.
Monique
Statina.
Statina. Well, first and foremost, thank you for being on the platform tonight.
You're welcome.
Thank you. First of all, I know you have a very busy schedule.
Right.
And I understand that you have not done any interviews with anyone, correct?
No, I haven't.
Regarding R. Kelly.
Oh, definitely not regarding R. Kelly.
Right, and this is very important. So I want you guys to hit the like button right now. This is exclusive. The prosecution nor the defense knew about this woman. But this is when you do your homework. You do your research. This is when you ask the right questions. You get the answers. So first and foremost, how's your day going?
Oh, my day's going pretty good. You know, I'm a full-time mom and a business owner of Models Garden. So I work nonstop. I'm an entrepreneur as well, including my modeling and acting. So I work nonstop.
Well, hold on. Oh, I slipped up here, guys. She's also an actress, but she's not acting now. I did my background on her. She's been in some major productions. Can you tell everybody what movies you've been in?
So yeah, I've been in quite a bit. I would say like my big ones, I would say would be Charlie's Angels and Dolomite. Dolomite is my name. And I mean, TV shows from Blackish to Ballers to Insecure. Done quite a bit of things in TV world.
That's really nice. That's really nice. I want to take it back, way back. I want to take it way back. When you started modeling, how old were you when you started modeling?
Oh goodness. Well, I started modeling when I was like 17. It was my freshman year in college, so I went to college a little early. But I didn't become like professional until I was like 18, 19. And I didn't do top model until I was 19.
Wow. And you know, the percentage of people that can actually claim to be a model with all the models that are out here is a small percentage. And then to be able to be on such a popular show, America's Next Top Model, that speaks volumes. But you not only has been on America's Top Model, you have also worked with the legend. Rest in peace to the legend. Can you tell everyone who that legend is?
And rest
Andre.
Huh?
Andre.
Don't even make me cry right now. But yes, Andre DeLeon. Yes, he's the one that really discovered me in New York. And you know, him and Anna Winter, they both was like, yes, she's the real deal. Yes, Andre at Laquan Smith's show.
Wow.
That's where we became friends. Yeah.
Major.
He's amazing. I'm so sad that he's gone.
Yes, he
truly was hurt.
it was a big loss.
Yes, especially for the Black community and the fashion world. Absolutely.
Especially.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It made me get all teary-eyed.
I know. When I think about him, I'm like, wow, what a loss. Now you've been in some major publications. Can you talk about some of the publications? Just a few. Just tease them a little. Don't give them too much.
So I worked for countless commercials, from Apple to Marshalls to Coca-Cola with Kevin Hart. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going blank now because it's so many things.
So many.
Oh my gosh, I've been on Vogue with Sorel. I worked for Michael Costello, Giorgio Armani, Sophie Delay, Balenciaga. Like, is there anything else that there's so many. I've done 18 music videos.
Right. We don't talk about the music videos. These tear sheets are massive.
Yes. So, oh, L'Oreal. Oh my gosh, it's so many things I've done.
People are saying you like Naomi Campbell. Well, I would kind of agree.
Oh, thank you. I've heard that. You know, it just depends on how my hair is, what I'm doing, if I have extra weight on, if I have less weight. It really just depends on whatever character I turn into.
So you started modeling when you were 19 years old.
Professionally
modeling.
Yes.
So you had opportunity to rub elbows with some of the biggest names in entertainment, music, television.
Yes.
But we're here today to talk about some interactions with a very famous recording artist, superstar, who's now on trial for something very serious. And before we talk anything about the trial, I want to talk to you about your first time meeting Robert Sylvester Kelly.
Well, yeah. So actually, you know, my first time ever meeting R. Kelly was in the music video with him and Snoop Dogg. That's that shit. I mean, I don't know if I
remember the video.
That's that ish.
I remember. And it's okay.
Yeah. And so I was in the music video, but I was in the music video with Snoop per se, but I did see R. Kelly on set, but it was just simple, like, hi, you know, and that's about it. But I didn't get to actually have like a full meeting, like a little bit more, until I was in Chicago modeling and stuff. And it was actually after the music video. And so my little side job as well was a cigar girl in the clubs. And so I used to sell cigars to, like, you know, men, you know, that like cigars and stuff like that. So one of my customers was Michael Jordan and R. Kelly. And so my first interaction with R. Kelly was him seeing me in the club, and I had like a box full of cigars, and he's like, I'm gonna buy the whole thing. I'm like, okay. So he buys the whole thing. He's like, now sit down. I'm like, sit down. He's like, yeah, no more working for you for the rest of the night. Just enjoy yourself. I was like, all right. So that was like my first, like, kind of, just interaction with him. And that was the first one. But then I saw him again, and I don't think he remembered that it was me, honestly, because again, like my looks changed so much that I don't think that he remembered me from the video set, or even that day that he bought out my cigars. But he saw me for the third time, and then that particular third time we kind of really hung out and really partied that night, and partied at the after party and stuff like that. And it was a lot more of a deeper interaction.
Before we get into the deeper interaction, I want you guys to make sure you hit the like button, hit the love button, because this is an exclusive interview with someone with an immense amount of knowledge in her profession, and she wasn't paid to do this interview, and I had to say that first and foremost. Let's talk about the first time you went to the chocolate factory. And before we say who else was there, let's talk about your first time, and walk me through the day you walked through those doors and tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so do you want me to start from
the minute you got? Okay, well, actually,
just
no. Before talk about, okay, so what happened when it started getting more serious? What happened?
As far as like going to,
yeah, you were talking about, like when you met him, and he bought your cigars, but then later on, you're reconnected. Can you talk about
that?
that?
So this is a completely different day, like probably maybe a month later or something, or more, I don't know. But we were in a nightclub, and so he was there. He was like special guest and performing and stuff like that. And so he saw me, he took a liking to me, and so he was like to me and my friends, like, hey, you guys get whatever you guys need, whatever you want, whatever. So he gifted us with some really nice bottles of alcohol. And, when you're 19, you feel like, wow, a whole bottle to myself.
Okay, so you were 19 years old.
Yes,
so
I was 19.
So you weren't able to drink at that age? You were 19.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
I just thought about when you said that. Okay, so
why you throw that in there? Why are you trying to point me out right now?
No, I mean, like, listen, people, the internet is, they do their math now. So you were 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? You had a drink, 2 drinks? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, so he didn't get me into the club, but I was able to
me and my
friend used to do it big. We used to be in everything, People be like, how are you guys even here? Don't even worry about it. We just here.
Okay, this is important. Did he know did he know your age at the time, or did you?
I don't think so. We absolutely did not discuss like, oh yeah, by the way, frankly, I'm probably not even supposed to be in the club. The last thing I'm going to do is tell everyone that I'm the one that's the youngest one in the group.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I admit I snuck in a club. I was in the clubs at 17 maybe, but I looked at 17.
I think many of us have done that. If you got to work it, you work it.
Okay, so when from that point you met him, you saw him in the club. How was that interaction like? What was the energy like meeting him? Like,
it was good energy. It was high energy. Everybody was having a good time. He was having a good time as well. He was, being R. Kelly, R. Kelly, definitely feels himself. So he's definitely like, I'm that guy.
Well,
so
when you say being R. Kelly, like the bigger than life superstar, like what do you mean by that?
Yeah, he definitely has a big energy, big, persona, all that, okay. I think it's a little bit more towards men than it is women per se, because when it came to like me and my friends, he was just really cool and really like, hey, okay, all right, come hang out, give them whatever they need, type of thing. So he was really nice. But when it came to like towards men, it was like very much like, this is R. Kelly right here. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure.
So
Big
so
personality.
what happened next? So you went to the club.
Right. So we went to the
What
club.
happened?
He gifted us the drinks. I didn't drink that much because I'm not a big drinker, but one of my good friends, she got pretty pretty drunk with her full bottle of Henny.
Okay. Okay.
So
You were hitting hard back then. Okay.
oh yeah, no, she went hard. She definitely hard. I mean, again, like I said, when you're like young and 19, for me, I was in college, so you like to drink. So someone gifting you like a big bottle of like premium alcohol, you feel like you won for the night,
Right. Well,
So
we're not going to be promoting alcohol too much here, but I want you to tell your story.
I don't want to hear to cut me a check, but
So let me ask you a serious question. Can you tell us the first time you went to the chocolate factory and who was there?
okay, yeah. So we got there. We got to the chocolate factory. There was different people there. It was more women than it was men. It was like a few of his friends. I don't exactly know. Another person that I knew was Tyrese, and he was there as well. And it was just like a really cool setting. Well, first when we got there, we have to like park, and you have to go through like a checkpoint, where you would like leave your ID and your phone and things like that. And I believe I had to sign a paper as well. So
you had to sign a paper. Do you recall what you had to sign?
you know what? I believe it was just kind of like
If you don't remember, I
you
don't
know
want
what?
you to.
I kind of don't remember exactly what I remember signing. So it was a long time ago, but I
Okay.
believe it was just like surrendering over our cell phone and our ID to be able to get it back type of thing.
So it was a security checkpoint.
Right.
Uh,
Mhm.
and you just had to leave your phones at the door for the most part.
Right.
Uh,
Mhm.
did you feel any type of intimidation or fear by doing that when you went there?
No, I didn't feel any type of intimidation at all. I just felt like maybe, he wanted to, keep it private, and that was about it. So,
For those who join in, there a lot of celebrities take these type of measures because obviously they don't want to be recorded, and when you're at that level as a celebrity, you want to control what comes in and out of your place. So I get that part. Now, what happened when you got in? Once you checked your phone and everything, can you tell me what happened afterwards?
once I checked in my phone, oh yeah, so once I checked in my phone, then we just went inside the chocolate factory, which I guess is like I guess a different like portion of the house and stuff like that. So it's more of like the entertainment side of it. And so it had like, like a dance floor, some, really big, projectors and piano, just, like a whole like, lounge kind of type of experience it was down there.
So tell me, how did R. Kelly treat you while he was at the studio? How did he treat you from the time you got in until the time you left?
Yeah, R. Kelly was very nice. I mean, like very hospitable. I mean, everything once we got in, it was like whatever you guys want, you guys need, just grab it, or I'll get it for you. So we, had drinks and like candy and just snacks or whatever. It was really cool. He like actually like made that song, like that ooh, 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 ah, 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 song while I was there.
Okay.
So that was really cool to like see him like make that whole song. But for me, like I mean, I really enjoyed myself. We were all having a good time. Everybody was just having a fun moment. He actually had like asked me to like slow dance with him, and I was like, all right, like it's R. Kelly asking me to slow dance. Like, yes. So I slow danced with him, and it was an amazing moment. He went through different songs, he performed, he sung them, he was on the piano, he was just an amazing artist doing amazing artist, craft, in front of us. And Tyrese was there. They were just cracking jokes and having a good time. But it was a really good setting. He was really peaceful to my friends. He was peaceful to me. He didn't even try to like put me in any type of awkward position, not even a little bit. I felt completely comfortable, to the point that I was like falling asleep, because it's starting to get late and stuff. But I was like falling asleep, and I was dozing off, and it was like, not a problem or whatever. We went to the studio. They recorded some more because the studio is separate from the entertainment. And I was in the studio. I was trying to stay awake to hear everything, but I was like going in and out because I was like dead, But after that, like, um, we ended up leaving, and then we, left.
So was there ever a point in time when you couldn't leave if you wanted to leave? Did you feel at any point that you were there under any type of duress at any point in time?
No, I don't think we were under any type of duress. I mean, I think that he definitely wanted us to stay longer, and like continue to like hang out and vibe. But for us, we were getting tired, like I was like, there was like one eye, it was like 6 a.m. I was like, and he's still going, he's like a full artist. He's like a prince that would just perform all night, type of person. So he just kept performing, just kept, making music in the studio. And we were getting to the point where it was like, okay, look, we need to go to the bed. Okay, like we've had fun, we don't want to leave, but we gotta have to go.
Okay.
So he was okay with that, and we, like I said, we left.
So
and
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So obviously this happened when you were 19 years old.
Right.
How do you feel today when you hear different women that have come out and say R. Kelly did certain things to them? How do you feel now? Like, if you look back and think about how he treated you, and think about what some of the women have said about him now. What do you think about some of the stuff that you heard? Even with it, have you seen a docuseries, Surviving R. Kelly?
So I seen like portions of it. Again, I work so much, and the more that I was working in TV, the less amount of TV I ever watched. So I didn't get to really dive into it as much as like everybody else did. So I caught bits and pieces, and of course, like different stories and stuff like that I've heard from people. But yeah, so that's kind of all I have, as far as information on these other situations. I mean, I absolutely don't condone any of that type of behavior, but I never experienced that, and I didn't see that. Now, I did see a lot of desperados, is what I would call them, aka groupies.
Okay. So there were groupies at the studio.
It was groupies everywhere when it comes to R. Kelly. So
right, but I want to talk about your personal experience. What did you see with the other people that were at the studio at the time you were there? Did you?
Yeah, I mean, even at the clubs, like it was always a lot of women around him that were just like, like, I mean, it's R. Kelly.
And
play. What do you mean?
Well, at the time you were an established model. You were someone,
Right.
Not you're attractive now, so I'm sure you were attractive then. But you were starting out in your career.
Right.
And then mind you, you were 19 years old at the time. And did he ask you your age at the time? Or was
no, he didn't. He didn't ask my age. I mean, but I'm sure I looked young.
Well, 19, yeah.
Yeah.
But when you hear these other women speak about him, and some of them were probably your age, they were probably 19, 20, 21, 22. I don't, I hear different stories, but was the man that's been depicted in the media uh, Robert Sylvester Kelly, does it seem like the man that you encountered back then? R. Kelly.
Yeah.
There's R. Kelly and there's Robert Sylvester Kelly. So you have
Okay.
a state, he's the entertainer, but he's also the person.
Right.
And there was some allegations that something happened in the chocolate factory at one point in time, but you've never experienced anything like that. No, nothing like that. Correct?
No. No. I mean, we actually had the chocolate factory had to have like we had like a little personal like time, and not the saying like we hooked up or anything like that, but we had
Right.
like a moment where we were just able to sit and powwow, and like I said, we did the whole slow dance or whatever, things like that. But in that moment, his personality seemed like a really good person. He seemed like he had a really good heart. Um, and so for me, hearing all these different things, it's kind of like, wow, like it's a little bit mind blowing because I didn't experience that, and neither did my friends. Um,
Wait, at
you
the time,
know,
were your friends models as well? Were they?
no, actually, one of them was a makeup artist. The other one was actually a journalist in radio. And then my other friend, she does publicist.
Publicity.
Yes.
Okay. But they weren't. Well, they weren't doing publicity at the time at 19, were they?
So I, I was probably the youngest one of the group.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And then my other friend was, I think she was like 21. So I was 19, she was 21, and then everyone else was a little bit older. I was definitely the youngest of the group, for sure.
Okay. So how did Tyrese? R. Kelly was there. Tyrese was there. What was that like? What you know?
Yeah, I mean, Tyrese was already at the chocolate factory when we got there, so I don't know if he was in the club because I didn't see him in the club. But when we got back to the chocolate factory, he was there, and Tyrese was really just cool. Like they were just hanging out like bros, hanging out, shooting the breeze, cracking jokes, just having a good time. It was really just like a kickback. Like, I mean, I didn't see any, crazy
So,
stuff going on. There wasn't any sexual things going on while I was there either. Like it was literally just hanging out, him being an artist, showing, his new music that he, had just did, showing, us other things that he's done, playing some videos on the projector, like I said, making the songs on the piano. We did the slow dance, and it was really just like a kickback, like just chilling.
so,
And
someone just asked, says, so why now? Why hadn't you come forward early on? Why didn't you come forward early on just to share your experience?
oh, well, I didn't know that my experience actually mattered. I didn't yeah, I really didn't think to like run out and say, hey, this is my story. I'm just kind of not that type of person at all, actually. I have tons and tons and tons of like friends and celebrity friends and things like that. So I don't think anything of of things. But yeah, I just didn't think I needed to say
Right.
anything. But when you mentioned
And,
it.
and fair disclosure, she and I were talking earlier, and in the course of us talking, his name came up. Now, pretty much, I wanted to know your story,
Right.
because I really hadn't sat down with anyone that gave me a, from you didn't have. Okay, we lost her. I don't know what happened. We lost you on screen. Okay, all right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I think she had a call coming in, but I lost the sound.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I
Okay,
had a phone
okay.
call
Oh
coming
yeah.
in.
Turn
Sorry.
on that do not disturb. But she and I were talking, and then by coincidence, she shared a story. So, and you don't need press because you're pretty much you're out there already. You don't need to do. You don't. You're not
Yeah,
trying
I
to
know.
launch a career. You had a career. You have a career. So it's not like you're trying to launch a career. So it's no value other than to share your story. Correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, you didn't pay me to do this, but you know, you were like, hey, you want to know about my story? So I was like, okay, I'll share it. You know, I feel like, you know, it's completely different from everybody else's, and so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's other people that have had the same experience as me.
Right, and you know something, and I would probably agree with you. The problem I have is that all these people that actually know R. Kelly, that have worked with him,
Yeah.
have spent time with him, a lot of them haven't come forward, and
Mm,
I think part of the reason is because people are concerned about how others will view them and tell them their story. But in your
mm,
case, it can't harm your career because you have a career already. So it's interesting that more people haven't come out, and you know you have your right to tell your story at what any time in your life, uh, and I think it's important
right.
that you know is that yours clicking?
No, I don't think so. I think that might be you.
I don't think it's me.
Yeah, because when you start talking, it starts to do that.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm hearing something.
Maybe unplug your headphones and plug them back in.
Well, okay. You guys trying to interfere with this interview? I know you guys are.
Oh yeah, my phone's ringing too.
Is it your phone?
My phone just rung, and yeah, I'm getting messages and stuff right now too.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's what's happening. I'm not doing anything. Uh, okay. Now we know who it is. The culprit in the background. That's good. Okay. All right. You put your mute on. Your phone went to mute. Oh, okay. So maybe she went on mute for a second.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to mute. You know,
Right.
I'm
Oh,
a
I know what
mom.
it is.
I think I woke someone up.
I know what it is right now. Stand by, guys. Stand by. I think I know what it is. Uh, actually, it's not coming from my end, but okay. This has never happened, so this is interesting. Uh, and it's just getting kind of weird because anyway, guys, someone is trying to interfere with the live. That's okay. This will be on replay for this will be on replay. You still hear it?
I can hear you. I can hear you. It
Okay.
just
All
has
right.
a little crackle every time you finish. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's hold on a second. It's like someone's on the other end of the another call, but it's okay. Anything else you want to share with my audience about first of all, what else are you doing with your career right now? What else are you doing? You know, because I know you talk, you know, you have your modeling, but you also embarked on a new journey in life. Can you talk about that?
Oh, my new journey. Yes, I have created the Model's Garden, and it's any and everything about gardening. So I call myself the Amazon of gardening. So we carry some of everything in reference to garden, from products to equipment to supplements, transplant seeds, all that cool, good stuff. It's all natural, everything's organic. And I teach and show people how to grow their own and how to become self sufficient. And I specialize in small spaces.
How did you get involved in that?
Oh, well, I had a doctor that tried to kill me 4 years ago, and I ended up in a mini coma for a month and a half after that. And then exactly a year later, I stopped being able to walk, and they wanted to replace both of my hips. And I told the doctor, no, go screw yourself, and I'm going to go heal myself and trust God. And I did just that. And I started my garden and built my own garden and started to heal myself with my fruits, vegetables, and herbs and supplements. And I rebuilt my entire body back, and now I walk and jump and do all kinds of stuff. I went from a wheelchair to walking. So I help and teach other people how to do the same thing. And
Wow.
yeah, that's kind of how I got there.
Oh, we had to bring you back on for you to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I would love to. I would love to.
Wow.
It's the game changer, you know. Getting our ecosystem back, you know.
Absolutely.
One home garden at a time, you know, to build our
Absolutely.
planet.
And you work with a lot of famous people now in your profession, correct?
Yes.
So you don't need to do this interview for that, but this is beautiful that you've told your story, and it's very important to be able to talk to people who don't have an agenda. And not saying everyone has an agenda, but I do believe some of the people that have spoken out might have an agenda. You know,
Oh,
now
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
just
it kind of does seem like that in a way. Um, and I'm surprised that there aren't enough people that have spoken out, you know, on the good things that he's done, I guess. Um, I literally just have no bad things to say. And like for me, and it's kind of frustrating because when people speak about him, I'm like, because for me, like my experience was amazing. You know, I'm like, well, every time I have good thoughts, I'm like, yeah, I like totally slow dance with R. Kelly, and I had like, you know, he like made a song and all this cool stuff. I was there, you know. At 19, I was like freaking everything. So, you know, for me, my experience was great, and like he was good to me. He was good to my friends. He was respectful. We left feeling like an amazing person. And I mean, still to this day, me and my friends talk about, you remember that one time it was R. Kelly house? And how much fun we had and stuff like that. So we'll have those like moments and just laugh at just the whole moment of how it all unfolded and things like that. Um, but we didn't, you know, see anything crazy. I remember being at the house and I did see other women that were there. But I feel like I've seen those same kind of women that would be with him at the clubs and different things like that. So, and
you've
they just
had
walking around the house like you know, chill.
you without saying any names, you have had other celebrities that tried to hit on you, correct? In your career, in your life.
I've had a lot of people try to hit on me.
Right, but like celebrities, because you've been around a lot of celebrities, but you've had other people in the business that tried to hit on you. Uh correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And that experience is far, and I again, I'm only asking you because I'm just trying to, let people gauge the, you've been around celebrities that have actually tried to hit on you. Have you ever been in a situation where anyone disrespected you or did something to you, like went over, out, overboard in any, situation, like without, obviously saying their name? Have you had any bad experiences in your career as a model?
Mhm. No, I haven't had any bad experiences with any celebrities or anything like that. No, I've definitely not had any.
Okay.
I I have had a situation where I had a girl with me while I was hanging out with a particular celebrity, and you know, you just have to be careful of the company you keep. I learned that early on, and she was kind of a very promiscuous. It's probably the best way I would say it, and so I had like a little situation with that where I had to kind of check the celebrity's security to let them know, like, look, just because she roll like that, don't mean the rest of us do that. Okay.
Okay, I
All
get that. I
right.
get that.
So
I
I've
get
had
that.
like that type of situation, but other than that, like, I've not had anything that's been like, whoa, you know. But I mean, I've definitely have had like, you know, some other celebrities that have a little bit more ego and be a little rude and shrewd and things like that. But
But
again,
you didn't
R.
get that.
Kelly
You
wasn't
didn't get
that.
that with R.
I
Kelly.
didn't. I really didn't. You know, like I said, he had a big ego and a big personality, but it was more projected towards the men. But when it came to the women and my friends, like he was legit cool. So it's like hard for me to compare my situation to the others and be like, yeah, that's normal, because my normal was like completely different. And you know, I feel bad for, you know, those other girls that said that they went through anything like that. um you know, but I do see a lot of women like really throw themselves at people and stuff too, celebrities, and you know, they really go above and beyond. I've surely seen a lot of that. So,
Well, yeah, I don't want you. I want you, obviously, to be able to tell your story. But again, I wasn't there, nor were you there when when other people have different stories, and I welcome those people to come on and tell their stories as well. But because you and I just met, so it was, I reached out to you, um,
yeah.
and you told your story. You told me some of your story, and literally,
You didn't even let me finish. You're like, wait a minute.
wait a minute, I need to get you. I need to interview you.
And that's really how this happened. It's so crazy. But
No,
and honestly, like if no one would have ever said anything, I probably would have never said anything, which is, I don't know, you're making me feel bad because I feel like, dang, I guess I should have said something sooner. Is this
well,
terrible?
no, I think you just hadn't been around the right people who wanted to maybe hear your story. I mean, once I heard that, I said, wait a minute. I mean, you've been on some of the biggest publications, been a part of some of the biggest productions, and I thought that no one else with your celebrity has come forward to speak uh, about R. Kelly in the manner in which you did, and I thought that was important. That you don't have you don't have anything to gain from telling your story because, I mean, you get booked all the time anyway, so it's not like you're doing it for any other reason but to tell your story. Um,
Right. Wow.
so people are
Yeah.
asking how can they find you if they wanted to, you know, well, they wanted to find you, utilize your business.
Okay. Yes. Well, Models Garden. It's really simple. Models Garden. You can find me on every platform with Models Garden. And then for me personally, it's Statina, and that's Stateena. Statina. And you can find me everywhere under Statina. So Instagram, IG,
You you
YouTube,
you,
Monique
you
Statina or Statina.
now I'm gonna post it in the description. You
Oh,
have
awesome.
do you have any advice for aspiring models? Because you know you've seen it all for the most part, as far as in the
I've seen it
print,
all.
no, from print to
It's
runway.
been 23 plus years now that I've
Right.
been doing
That's that's
this.
that's 23 plus years. Wow.
I know.
You started early.
No, I just started at nights. Okay, I'm giving my age out.
Right. I was about to reach my calculator, and we ain't gonna do
Right.
that.
Let me stop. See, I'm gonna start
We ain't
freaking
gonna
me
do that.
out.
But what do you want to give any advice to any up and coming models that is thinking about getting in the profession? Can you give like some
Yes,
pointers?
absolutely. I love doing that. This part of my journey. um, well, first thing is study, 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 study your craft, study the greats. That's going to make you great. Um,
Study the
stand for
great. That's gonna make.
something, stand for something, or fall for everything. Have some morals, definitely. Hold true to who you are. Don't waver. Don't compromise. It's really kind of not worth it. Every job I've ever done, I've auditioned for it. Literally, I've never been on anybody's casting couch, and I'm absolutely proud to say that. So, it took me a long time. It took me 20 years to finally do my movie.
Wow. Big.
you know, um, I would have never imagined taking that long, but I'm grateful because I never had to compromise to have any of my success. Um, so I would just say that to any young girl, believe in yourself, stand true to yourself. I mean, of course, be humble and, be meek about it. You don't want to be like boastful and, things like that. But, and stay professional. Oh my gosh. Professionalism can get you so far,
Absolutely.
you know? So, yeah.
You told me something, and you told me something when we were talking, and you had a regret about something that happened to you early on in your career, um, regarding an
Uh,
audition. Can we talk about that? Are you want to share that with the public? Are you want
oh
to?
my gosh. You want me to share my sad story about Victoria's Secret?
Okay, yeah, we want it all. We want the good, the bad.
Okay, well, I guess I'll have to share this because, for all you new up and coming models, so you don't go crazy when this happens because it might happen and it could typically happen to anybody. But I had an audition for Victoria's Secret and I was really excited about it because, I mean, who doesn't want to model for Victoria's Secret? It's like every model's, goal to reach. So I had this audition and my agents had told me that my call time was at 11, but when I got there, it was at 10.
Oh
So
man.
somewhere along the line, something had got misconstrued. But I definitely arrived an hour behind on the time slot that I was supposed to be in. And yeah, when I got there, the lights were off and I was just like, hey, this is what happened. I'm like trying to show them the email and New
And they
York
didn't want to
is,
hear it. It's
yeah, New York.
Victoria's Secret.
Oh yeah, New York is cutthroat. New York is, the high fashion capital, and so New York is not lenient at all about anything. So either you come on point or you're just not at all. So
Well, first and foremost, to get a call back for Victoria's Secret
yeah,
is huge.
it was. I'm still excited about that, right?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, so I still have that as the exciting part to my journey. But I haven't had too many balls that have dropped in my career, but that was one of those. It was really early on in my career that I still think about. I'm like, oh, dang, I missed my little moment.
But you, from that experience, it just made you tougher. Make sure I'm sure you gave your agent the business, for giving you. But hey, listen, it happened.
Look, you don't give your agents in New York the business, okay? That's another advice for you young ones.
Right.
Not New York agents. You want to kind of, because they rough. They kind of tough out there too.
Absolutely. Well, I am so appreciative that you came on to tell your story. I know that an interview like this is not always easy to do, but when you're being honest, it's easy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm like, it doesn't feel awkward at all, but I mean, I guess I'm kind of like happy that at least I was able to kind of tell a good side because I mean, I've had my share of media and press and things like that, and people think one thing but don't know at all.
It comes with the business. It definitely comes with the business.
Yeah, but it's definitely part of the territory and the business, and you get a lot of people that like try to twist words for gain, like a lot. I mean, I've experienced it so much, especially with top model, like, oh God, of people just saying and doing so much for whatever gain that they might get out of it. So I can see that possibly surely happening with him. And it's unfortunate. It really is. But I from what I experienced, I seen a different side of him, and you know, um, I really hope the best for him in his situation, and I know that we're all not perfect. No one's perfect. No one does anything right. Some of us can drop the ball at any point in time. So, but hopefully he's learning his lessons in this. And whatever lessons they are. And I mean, I just hope everybody is being healed in this situation. Um, as a society, we really have to do better as people and really be a little bit more accountable and to operate a lot more in love. Because love wins, seriously, and being able to put ourselves in other people's shoes is a really good thing to do. So you can see both sides,
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Monique Statina. You can follow on IG under Models Garden for a
Yes.
business at Models Garden. And you can also, I mean, she's Googleable. You can Google her.
Yes. Right. I know.
That's
I
it.
hate to say that. I'm like, just Google me, but yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
just Google me. Right. Shout out to Tiana Taylor and Jazzy Faye for coming up with that song. Google me, baby.
Google me, baby. Right.
Absolutely. Well, Statina, thank you for coming on the platform.
Thanks for
We
having me. You're welcome.
we're gonna have to do this again. Now, I'm sure you're gonna get people reaching out to you now, but you did
I
it first here. How about that?
right. I hope it's not gonna be too crazy because I'm going to bed.
Right. Well, not
But
tonight.
I'll have
Not
to talk to
tonight.
y'all tomorrow.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you very much. We're gonna end this show. Well, this segment of the show. But we'll talk soon.
Okay. Be blessed, y'all.
Hey guys. So that was a great treat. I do appreciate her coming on, and obviously these type of interviews, you have to you have to get them when you can. This wasn't a planned interview. Um, I literally spoke to her today, and we were talking, and she started talking, and as I listened, uh, my spider senses were tingling and said, "Hey, I haven't heard a celebrity actually come out and tell her story in a manner, tell her story." And I thought it was just important for you to hear from someone that had personal experience with him without without any perceived um, agenda. And not to say that the people that have come forward have agendas, but some of them were, for me, were, you know, I had questions, and I'll just leave it at that. There's a trial going on. I had to be in the courtroom tomorrow, and I just wanted to be able to, um, have people just think, have people just think, you know, just have people think. Uh, I I would say that today's uh, court hearing uh, was interesting. There was a call by defense attorney Jennifer Bonjean to have a mistrial based on the fact that R. R. Kelly's co-defendant was a part of his prior uh, defense team. So that would have been a conflict. Unfortunately, the judge uh, did not grant the motion, but uh, there were the psychologist that came in, the doctor that testified, the detective that gave direct. He will be giving cross examination tomorrow. Then you had someone from NARIS. NARIS is the National Association of Recording Artists, and that young lady testified as well. And this is just the start. Tomorrow is going to be it's going to be the cross examination of the detective is going to be good. Look forward to that. And this trial is expected to last probably another 3 weeks, about 3 weeks. So just pay attention. I would just say that uh, his defense attorney, Jennifer Bonjean, is not easy to, let's just say she's not an attorney that don't know the law. And she's made some good objections that could set him up, if he doesn't prevail in this case, could set him up for a good appeal. But you got to realize she's a great appellate attorney. So in making these objections, she knows what she's doing. And I'll just say that. Now I'm gonna read a few of the comments. 'Cause I saw a lot coming through. I didn't ask any questions. Uh, but I don't think I have to. This is a great interview. I don't think I don't think we need to really. I mean, her interview stands on its own. And leave a just leave a comment. You know, you can ask a question during lunch break. I'll see if I can respond to the questions. Uh, and I won't be going live too much just because I'm actually doing special reporting for another outlet. So I'll tweet as much as I can tweet. And I would just say that just watch what comes out in the trial. That's all. That's all I can say. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I was reading a few of the comments. I was trying to scroll to see a few of them, but I'll check the playback. I'll check the playback in a minute. But appreciate you guys. Remember, you heard it first here on the Dennis Byron Show. Good night.